So in the graphing and relations, if you look at these graphs, temperature and the time, when you look at this temperature time graph, so you have a couple of things you notice it. So there's the time here, temperature here. So this one, as the time goes on, the temperature is raising up. Then after some point, like maybe mid of the day, and then you have a peak, and then start dropping down, and then constantly going down. And the other one is temperature is start constant, and then start going up a lot, and then stayed all the time, all of a sudden its temperature drop. Same thing, temperature up all one, then steep up, and then constant, and start raising, and then start dropping again. So those are called basically functions. So we can say represent them time, temperature graphs. So you can see these functions in a science, like especially physics, and everywhere basically you can see it. So you can say the names also. When it is a horizontal line, it's called constant, and then slant upwards, and then again this is horizontal, slanting downwards. So those are the different names that we can use them when you write the functions. Look at this graph. We have the time and then water level. And tell me what's happening in this graph. A lot of ways you can represent these same situations, the graphs. But as long as you're following it, the rapid increase, constant, and then going down. And we'll talk about the slopes and all those stuff in the coming days. But understanding the graphs is so important at this point. Relations and functions. So we're going to see what a relation means and what is a function means. Set of order pairs. Set of order pairs is called the relation. So it doesn't matter what kind of order pairs you see, the order pairs are there. It's called a relation. For example, if you are taking the number of points and high jumps, so you can write the order pairs there too. I'm going to put some example to see what does that mean, and then how can we, what are the different ways you can write the relations. So the relations can be shown in a different ways. One is the order pairs. These are called the order pairs, like x and y, x and y, x and y. That's order pair. Or you can write it in a table. It's called input-output table. Okay, so the relation can be written in the table format for the order pairs, or you maybe use a graph, or maybe a mapping diagram. Mapping diagram like input-output diagram. And the same thing here, input-output table, and this is the graph. So this is all the same thing, but we're writing it in different ways. Like for example, if you look at it, 1, 5, this is 1, x, y is 5. X is 1, y is 5. And if you look at it, plot the point, x is 1, y is 5. You see that? There are different ways you can write a function when you represent the function in terms of the representing. You have order pairs, table, graph, and the mapping diagrams. Okay, write it down this one in a table, graph, and mapping. Try that one because order pairs are given to you. The domain means x values. All the x values are called the domain, and all the y values is called the range. Like for example, if you see this one, this is the domain. And this y-axis is the range. Okay. And then if you look at this function, it means only the graph is a little line here. So we're going to look at it, what is the domain for this one and what's the range for this one. So if you look at it, the domain is that the graph is from 1, 2, and 3, right? See that? X values for this one. So the domain is 1, 2, and 3. Or this, then in a fancy way, they can write a 1 less than or equals to x less than or equals to 3. So what does that mean? X is between 1 and 3. x is between 1 and 3. So x means 1, 2, and 3. See, do you understand that? 1 less than x less than 3.
Repeat that.
So when you look at this domain, you're looking for the x values, the x numbers. Okay, so what I'm going to do to make it a little bit more sense out of this, so we're going to write the order pairs on the line. So if you write a 1, 2, right? If I write the order pairs 1 and 2, and then 2 and 3, that's the upper order pair, and then 3 and 4, that's the order pairs. So this is the x values and these are the y values. So these are all the x values, that's the domain. Okay, 1, 2, 3. And then range is the y values. Okay. So the range is the values coming from the 2 and 4. So between 2 less than or equals to y less than or equals to 4. That is your range. Does that make a sense? So what do you think is the domain in this one, and then what's the range in it? Okay. Very simple way to identify. All the x values are domain, all the y values are the range. This is called the relations. So in this one, let's find out, write it order pair format. Let's write it down in the order pair format. So order pairs. So the order pairs is going to be 7 is going to -1. So it's 7, -1. And then 7 is also going with the 0. 7, 0. The 9 is going with the -7. And 12 is -1. And then 15, 0.
I'll be back in 1 second.
So when you look at the x values, are the x values are repeating? That's what you need to check carefully. 7, 7, yes, I see that repeating, right? 7 is repeating. I have 7 2 times. So when the x is repeating, then it is not a function. Okay? X repeats, then not a function. Remember this. Not a function. Okay? X repeats, which is domain. But the y repeats still can be a function. Okay, remember that. Y is not going to make any difference. Whether y repeats or not, it's okay. Okay? Y, it's okay. But x repeats, it's not a function. So in this one, there are two questions. One, they give you an order pair form, and the other one is in set form. So write down the order pairs, and then check is the both of them are domain and both of them are functions or not. The first one, x values are 8, -4, -6, +2. So they're different. So yes, it is a function. But the second one, Avi, so if you look at it, 4, -3, 3, -5, 2, -5, 2, -4. You see that 2 is repeating? So it's not a function.
Yeah, I repeat twice there.
Okay. So that's one of the reasons you have to be very careful with it. But if you look at it in a simple way, you see all the x values are different, then it is a function. And then if these are the x values are same, so it's not a function. Okay? So that's how we can say simple ways.